a sea of pink. As flamingos mingle and haven like jingles play where queen counts still sleep. And if you listen, you can hear it. The words of gossiping parrots awaiting the diction of the day. All 365 of them, that's every day and every year. 15,000 children share in the beauty of this playground. Our name is yours. And we have been yours for years unnoticed. Don't forget us. Support us. Your national parks. The defenders of your environment. Join us. Remember, our cause is yours. The first land and sea park in the world is yours. Heritage. Here it is. When was the last time you gasped at our scenery, gotten lost in the depth of our reefs, or even awed at the green of the leaves of our trees? Don't hesitate to donate and volunteer. Don't hesitate to care. We are here for you. The Bahamas National Trust, BNT. 3 letters that spell out simply, perfectly, and undoubtedly that we are yours.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition, job seekers flock to labor on the blocks. Scores celebrate 242 Day. And in sports, Devin Charlton shines. The Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition, starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jimenita Swain, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. Thanks so much for tuning in. Stephen Dillard Primary School, the venue for the Department of Labor's first Labor on the Blocks initiative for 2024. Hundreds of job seekers gathered at the school early Saturday morning with the hopes of securing jobs within the labor market. Desmond Saunders reports.
Over 200 job hopefuls filled the Stephen Dillard Primary School auditorium Saturday, hoping to clinch over 200 positions within the public and private sector. The Department of Labor hosting its first job fair for 2024 with the hopes of further reducing unemployment in the country. Director of Labor Howard Thompson and his team impressed with the overall turnout.
I think we're going to break some records here. I think this is the most amount of persons that we've had to come to one of our Labor of the Blocks. This is the most amount of employees who have attended this, and so we're excited to see what the numbers look like in the end.
Over 20 companies coming face-to-face with job seekers, many of them eager to secure top spots within tourism, banking, construction, and financial fields. For talent acquisition manager at Royal Caribbean, Jessica Ferguson, and sales manager at Family Guardian Carmichael District, Alvin Roll, Saturday's job fair shows Bahamians are ready to land opportunities within the current job market.
We have approximately, I'd say, over 50 positions that we have because there's an expansion at Coco Key. So we have quite a few positions from food and beverage to housekeeping positions to lifeguards.
The process has been going good so far. We're currently looking for career-oriented, resilient, energetic, self-motivated individuals. And as you can see in here, there are a lot of people in here.
Job candidates Brando Mackey and Natasha Smith optimistic about their prospects.
I have a bachelor's in management from St. John's University, and I've worked in HR before in Bimini and also at Atlantis. So I'm looking for probably an HR position. I feel good about it. I've spoken to a few companies so far. I still have 2 or 3 more to go. So I think my prospects are pretty good.
I have chosen five opportunities that are available, and they are very hopeful. I've just sat one interview, and it was very, very positive.
Highlighting the success of labor on the blocks in the country, Member of Parliament for Centerville, the Honorable Jomo Campbell, hopes the program would go a long way at helping Bahamians become self-sufficient.
It's all about building people, empowering young Bahamians, male, females. I know you can see the large number of young men that are here today. And, you know, that's really how we look to build the communities, one person at a time. You know, we don't want to give out fish, continuously be giving out vouchers. We want to teach people how to fish, give them the one opportunity to go out and do it for themselves.
Since its establishment in May 2022, Labor on the Blocks has helped 3,000 Bahamians find jobs. The Department of Labor now gearing up to take its job fair to the Family Islands and other inner-city communities throughout the capital. Desmond Saunders, The Bahamas Tonight.
Thanks, Desmond. One thing's for sure, many longtime public servants look forward to receiving a pension at the end of their professional career. However, there are several public officers here in the Bahamas who don't get to benefit from a pension program.
The consultations start with the public sector unions next week. And then once those consultations are completed, we get comments. We go back to the AG's office for any adjustments and drafting. The hope is that by the time as the budget is presented, the legislation will be tabled. So there's a misconception that most public officers have a pension, but most public officers do not receive a pension. So that's where the focus is. So we have, for example, persons who work for the school boards, local government, library service, persons who work for less than 10 years in certain jobs, they do not receive a pension. So we are moving to try to expand the safety net for our employees.
Minister of Finance, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis indicated in his mid-year budget statement this week that state-owned enterprises provide significant social benefit and support Bahamians across our archipelago, but the agencies continue to require strong support from the public purse. At the halfway point in the fiscal year, government's obligations to state-owned enterprises, including the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, Public Hospitals Authority, Bahamas Air, and the Water and Sewage Corporation, totaled $166 million. Financial Secretary Simon Wilson outlined earlier this week how government plans to make these agencies profitable where practicable.
We've been focusing a lot on governance, improving governance of these institutions, making the board stronger, more aware through training and so forth, as well as looking at ways of leveraging relationships to get lower costs.
In other news, the cleanup campaign launched by government earlier this week in the Angliston area is designed to spread nationwide. It's multifaceted and includes the warning to residents that laws and fines will be applied regarding enforcement. Juan Albury reports.
The cleanup campaign saw 4 cabinet ministers united in their determination to make a sea change to make safer, cleaner communities. Minister for the Environment Vaughan Miller highlighted the objectives of the multifaceted approach.
We'll be dealing, principally, this is the beginning, and we'll be dealing with derelict vehicles, but it's more than that. In terms of spaces, dealing and making certain that spaces that have been overgrown, overpopulated, eliminating them. And also another aspect of it that we'll be getting to later on is in terms of, well, dilapidated buildings will also be dealt with. And we know the connection with derelict vehicles, dilapidated building, overgrown areas, and crime. So that's an aspect we want to eliminate.
Officials acknowledge that the cleanup is costly, and going forward, enforcement will be more pronounced. Minister of State for the Environment, Zane Lightburn.
We're looking to enforce, and they're going to help someone ask for payment. The persons who actually are the perpetrators of this type of activity, they're the ones who are going to help to pay for this.
And with 600 vehicles assessed by the Department of Health and Environment inspectors as derelict in Angliston, going forward, residents islands-wide are hereby warned.
We're asking persons to move, put you on notice. Move these vehicles. If they belong to you and you want them, put them where they're supposed to go. There is a limit to what vehicles can fit on the property, and you should know that. they're leaking out on the streets. And also we know that there's a relation, as Minister Miller said, to crime.
Padolio Street resident Samuel Carey seemingly agrees.
Standing it's unsightly, and if it isn't going to be fixed, then it needs to be removed. Everybody have their own view with their own property. However, I can only police mine, so I try to clean mine.
As for a suggestion on the use of private properties cleared of derelict vehicles, Minister of Housing and Urban Renewal, the Honorable Keith Bell, said this.
A number of these communities, persons have used these private properties. A number of these properties are either abandoned by the owner, the owner has not checked on them for a number of years, or the owners have not necessarily given permission for persons to put all these derelict vehicles on these properties. We are here to work with owners who are desirous of selling their properties to the government, to put low-cost homes on these properties. And in areas such as this property where we find properties have been abandoned by their owners, we are going to compulsorily acquire those properties and put low-cost housing on these properties. So we're going to take away the space permanently from these individuals from putting derelict vehicles on these properties and using them for illicit purposes.
And that is the real challenge for officials, how to partner with residents to keep their properties clean. For the Bahamas Tonight, I am Vaughn Albury.
Still to come, the Atlantis Awards. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. More news in a moment.
Here at Immigration Care Service, you can trust us, especially if you have experienced issues or problems with the U.S. immigration at the borders. We'll do our best to provide options and solutions to immigration roadblocks, so travelers can continue visiting the U.S. and residents can continue living their lives in the U.S. without worries. The best part? Our services are affordable and accessible. Take the mystery, confusion, and fear out of your immigration concerns. Contact Immigration Care Service today.
In the Yellow Elder Garden, Allie and her cousins listened to Grammy share tales. The 70s so sweet, with themed costumes and dancing feet. Then came the brass, reaching new heights. A symphony of Bahamian nights. The 2000s, the Yellow Elder, a symbol of pride. Grammy's legacy in view as Allie dances in her Yellow Elder costume. We are alive.
This portion of the news is brought to you by FoCall Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Thanks for staying with us. The Bahamas Public Parks and Beaches Authority celebrating 242 Day in grand style on Friday with a number of activities that saw the staff coming together and embracing all things Bahamian. The roundabout on Independence Highway was also decorated in national colors to mark the day. There was also a stall barking coconuts and a junkanoo rush out. Bahamas Public Parks and Beaches Authority Chairman Mikhail Barnaby.
We've taken it back old school style. You see we have the salty, we have hopscotch, we have marbles, and this is just a way for the staff to come together where we could get back to our historical references, the games we used to play, with camaraderie with the teamwork here, just to show that we're celebrating this day, 242 Day, to enjoy it and have a lot of fun.
Also making news tonight, a new sustainability program launched at the University of the Bahamas on Friday that's called Green Tech. The initiative aimed at helping students and those in the construction field contribute to design and construct healthy buildings. Founder of Green Ambassadors is Dr. Darnell Wims.
What we would have done in the past 2 years is we're showing it now, and we're actually beginning a series of courses now to train. Those courses will be once per month. They can be done either virtually or in person here at the College of the Bahamas, and hopefully we'll be able to continue in this room. We've secured several months already, and we're looking forward to continuing that. And we're looking and inviting all persons who have careers in the built environment, whether that's in architecture, in construction, in electrical engineering, you name it. We're looking at all of those areas in addition to high school students who are looking for a new approach to career path.
David Wims is president of the National Society of Black Engineers at the University of the Bahamas and speaks to the benefit of the courses.
I think that with green design, we have the opportunity to take that to the next level, from the way that we design our parks to the way that we design our roads and eventually, hopefully, buildings. I think that what the University of the Bahamas is doing now, with the partnerships that we have with BSE and the Professional Engineers Board, we hope that we can see that much sooner than later. There are a lot of students who are eager to really discover what it means to be an engineer, really understand how they chart that path, and we want to ensure that they cannot just discover that, but to the fullness of the potential that the field has to offer.
Aquinas College students treated to lunch yesterday, courtesy of Bahamas Striping Group of Companies and Manuelo's Restaurant. It's a gesture just to say thank you to the students for assisting with the Let's Make a Difference initiative during Thanksgiving. BSG Senior Vice President Dominic Stirrup says the Let's Make a Difference campaign far exceeded its intended target, while Chef Emmanuel Gibson of Manuelo says he's excited to be a part of an initiative that's helping those in need.
Last year, we started the Let's Make a Difference campaign to feed 10,000 persons. We was able to feed 10,320 persons throughout the Bahamas, 7 different islands. Aquinas College was one of our partners, where they prepared 300 meals last year, Thanksgiving. And I believe that the students and the teachers and administrators and the parents are all a part of making our program successful. And it's important that people know that they appreciate it. It's important that, you can say thank you.
We're able to produce the number, 10,000, and Manuelo's was happy to be a part of it. We were in the kitchen early preparing and knocking out those meals. So overall, it's a worthy cause. There are so much persons in our community who needs help.
Head girl Kaden Mutri Moss shared her experience.
At Aquinas College, one of the 8 expectations of a Catholic school graduate is to be a loving person. So this initiative was right up our alley. We enjoyed just helping each other out with cooking, working together, and helping others to make sure they have a great meal on Thanksgiving was really important to us. So we worked together to achieve this goal.
In case you missed the news or want to stay ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook.
Good to grow, keeping you in the know, keeping you in the know. It's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
The Department of Marine Resources is actively harnessing the potential of our oceans while ensuring responsible stewardship. Recent reports indicate a decline in illegal poaching activity in the southern islands. However, in the northernmost region, officials have identified concerning trends.
In the northern region, we don't necessarily see poachers that are coming from the Dominican Republic. We have poachers that are usually coming in from the United States, so it'll come more from the southern coast. We have seen persons as far north as Virginia that may have potential interest. So we have persons that are coming. Persons that we found are not usually repeat violators in the sense that once we arrest them, they are going to come back. But when we do our investigations, we notice that they do have a trend of trying to come back in undetected, but that is something that we're definitely working on.
Assistant Fisheries Officer in charge of Marine Resources on the island, Ladina Pelicanos, underscores a recent apprehension of foreign vessels in the area.
We would have apprehended a vessel coming in from Grand Quiabago that would have been in violation of multiple fisheries resources. They would have exceeded their vessel allowance, exceeding over 300 pounds of conch, exceeding the number of fish that they had on board, as well as stone crab claws. And we definitely want to applaud the Fisheries and Wildlife for their efforts in that joint operation as well. So we're definitely making statements.
Additionally, Pelicanos notes that local fishing violations have been on the rise.
So in November of last year, we would have had a joint operation with the Marine Action Partnership, which would have included Wild Aid, the Bahamas Customs Department, as well as the Royal Bahamas Police Force, Royal Bahamas Defense Force. And so 4 vessels were apprehended successfully with multiple occupants, with multiple violations, which would be inclusive of the use of a prohibited apparatus, as well as a violation of the compressor depth usage, which the depth for the compressor can only be used within 30 to 60 feet of water. In addition to that, they would have lacked commercial fishing licenses, and then there were some that were charged with obstruction.
With continued collaboration between the department and law enforcement agencies, the crackdown on such violations is expected to be even more effective. Superintendent Buchanan Munker, police officer in charge of the Marine Sport Services branch in Grand Bahama, provides insights into the typical day on patrol in Grand Bahamian waters.
And so we come out and run the radar to see if we have any suspicious vessels out, and if we come in contact with any vessels that we deem suspicious. Could be a fisheries vessel that has just come off a fishing trip, and we would board those vessels and view the credentials of the persons to see if they have permits for fishing, and see if they're within the right regulations.
That said, he gives this stern warning to the fishing community.
My advice to the Bahamian public is the police is out in full force, and we are here to enforce the rules and regulations of the Bahamas. And so we're saying to you, please, boaters, get your vessels registered. We've noticed that a lot of you are not registering your vessels. Please get your vessels registered. And also get your vehicles that you're trailering your vessels with licensed. Okay, we've issued warnings, but now we're going to take action. And so we just want you to adhere to all the rules and regulations of the boating world.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Leah Cooper.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your Saturday Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. Bahamian world record holder and hurdler Devin Charlton continuing to dazzle, this time with the World Athletics Indoor Tour Gold Meet in Madrid, coming within a hair's breadth of equaling her own world record in the indoor 60-meter hurdles. Impressive performance unfolded on Friday as athletes geared up for the impending World Athletics Indoor Championships in Glasgow, Scotland. Two-time European indoor champion Nadine Visser set the tone with a 7.79 second victory in the first 60-meter hurdles heat, equaling the meeting record, while Charlton seamlessly matched his time in the second heat, visibly easing down toward the end of the race. The Bahamian sprinter then took center stage in the final race of the evening, showcasing her prowess. Charlton's flawless performance saw her gracefully navigate the hurdles, ultimately crossing the line in 7.68 seconds, although slightly adjusted from an initial 7.67. This remarkable time stands as the third fastest in history, also setting a new meeting record. The 2024 North Long Island High School Basketball Jamboree well underway, with several games having already taken place. Yesterday saw the official opening ceremony as students were addressed by the Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, Donald Miles Arota, who gave them these words of encouragement.
And so it's good to see young men and women being involved in wholesome activities. You know, our country needs you. And I say this every time I speak to young people. When I graduated from A.F. Adley in 1981, I never thought that time would move so fast that I would be in a position of leadership. When I went to S.C. McPherson and to A.F., they were the schools that were considered for the riffraffs. The A.F. Adley students couldn't get into Government High. Today, we have 3 members of parliament in the House of Assembly, including the leader of the opposition. And so don't let anybody tell you what you cannot do in life.
The school's principal and organizer, Julian Roll, on what keeps teams coming back.
I feel like I say we tribulate to the environment that we bring, the family and experience for all of the schools. Even though we live on Can Island or they live on Inagua, they live until Salvador, they come to Long Island. It's an entirely different cultural experience. We have bus tours that they can take during their stay here when they first arrive and before they leave. But what we bring, different from the other schools, is a peaceful family environment, the island food that they can experience, and of course a lovely, friendly experience that they get from us, the staff and the committee, making them feel comfortable. Everybody feels valued here at this jamboree. Regardless of how big or small the team is, we make them feel comfortable, we make them feel valued, everybody counts. At the end of the day, everybody have an open and successful chance to compete in whatever division they choose.
Yolette Maxine McCowan and the Ole Miss Lady Rebels were back on the SJP Pavilion floor, facing off against the Georgia Bulldogs, and they came off ready to run. They would cruise to a 73-51 victory. The 22-point victory was Ole Miss's largest to date this season, and they will improve to 19-7 on the year and 9-4 in the SEC.
As a staff, we were pretty intentional about resting our players. And so we went off schedule and did something that we usually don't do. And we just walked through on Tuesday because we know that we have a 3-game week coming up. And I always say I don't like to break pattern, but I felt like it was more important to rest our players' minds and more than their bodies. Physically, everybody's hurting this time of the season, but mentally, if they feel like they can go, it would be great. I was really, really happy to be able to play everybody.
From the association, Bayman NBA star DeAndre Ayton scoring 22 points to go along with 10 rebounds and 3 assists in the Blazers' 127-112 loss against the Denver Nuggets. It was a nice bounce-back game for Ayton after struggling in the last game for Portland before the All-Star break. He's recorded double-doubles in 3 of his past 4 games. Across his past 10 contests, Ayton is averaging 17 points and 11 boards. And that's Look at Your Sports on this Saturday. A check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
For every shape-up, after-school activity, unplanned home repair, and other day-to-day spending, there's SandDollar. SandDollar is a convenient way to send and receive money instantly. SandDollar is easy to use. It's safe and secure. Just like physical cash, SandDollar is issued by the Central Bank of the Bahamas. And best of all, there are no fees for individuals to send or receive funds. Download a SandDollar-enabled digital wallet and enjoy the benefits of the digital Bahamian dollar. Spend it locally. Transfer it to and from a local bank account or convert it to and from physical cash. Learn more at www.sanddollar.bs.
Have you ever purchased a defective item and was denied an exchange or cash refund? Contact the Consumer Protection Commission at 393-779-5-8 or our 24-hour complaints hotline at 357-7898 and let us help your voice be heard.
Hey, get up, stand up. Stand up for your life.
It's time now for a check on tonight's weather forecast. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us in studio with the latest temperatures. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Jiminita. We have cloudy skies, temperatures 72 degrees, the relative humidity at 79%, winds out of the west at 5 miles per hour. The barometric pressure, 1,014.6 millibars, that's 29.96 inches. And your temperatures around the Family Violence this evening, 73 degrees in Marshall, Barbacoa, Greenville, Key, and in Freeport, Berry Island, 72. Allenstown, Bimini, also 72. We're picking up some more 72s over in Harbor Island, Roxanne, Eleuthera, 73 degrees, 72 here in Fresh Creek, Central Andros. Otterstown, Cat Island, 77. Black Point, Exuma, and Kemp Space on Andros at 76 degrees, 79 in Georgetown, Exuma. Rimkey and San Salvador, 77. 82 degrees in Betsy Bay, Mayagorn, also Crooked Island at 80 degrees, Clarence Sound Island and Ragged Island 80, Ackland's 82, Matchetown and Nagua 76, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 80 degrees. Your boating forecast tonight through Sunday, the winds are going to be northwest to north at 10 to 15 knots. This is for the northwest, Bahamas with wave heights at 2 to 4 feet. High tide, that will take place at 8:02 tonight. A second high tide will occur at 8:19 tomorrow morning. Now for the central and southeastern islands, frontal system will continue to push through the central and southeastern parts of the country tonight. Those winds north to northeast, picking up 15 to 20 knots. The wave heights building 4 to 6 feet. So caution flags will be in place for the central and southeastern islands tonight through tomorrow. And satellite pictures showing that frontal boundary now making its way into the central Bahamas. Still has some clouds over the northwest Bahamas, but that will gradually start to clear overnight. Forecast for tonight, breezy this evening. Otherwise, going to be clear to partly cloudy once that frontal boundary makes its way towards the south and east. Low temperature, a very cool 65 degrees. And tomorrow, mostly sunny weather, pleasant with less humid conditions. Your high temperature only around 74 degrees, and the extended weather forecast, beautiful weather right through Thursday with lots of sunshine during the daytime. Those nighttime temperatures very, very comfortable. We're going to keep them in the low to mid 60s for you. Jiminita.
Thanks, Basil. A night to remember for 36 Atlantis employees nominated in the 25th Crystal Award Diamond Gala Friday at the Atlantis Imperial Ballroom. Our Lloyd Allen has the highlights.
The 2024 Atlantis Crystal Awards taking place on Friday. A number of persons coming out nominated for various positions.
My name is Francine DeMercy, and I'm nominated for Manager of the Year.
My name is Robert Bethel. I'm nominated for Heart of House, and I work for Entertainment Special Events.
Tell us your name and why so many people supported you.
My name is Omarion Adley. I'm nominated for Heart of House. I work in water park operations. I think so much people supported me because not just for my work ethic, but for keeping a smile on my face while doing it, because it's one thing to show up to work on time and doing your work, but it's one thing to do it with so much passion and commitment and energy.
The event inviting industry partners and other staff members giving a royal welcome to the nominees as they entered.
We are supporting Mildred Dean. Mel Towers Housekeeping. All the way, Mildred!
High praises also in from the Deputy Prime Minister and other officials.
I am happy to join you. The timing could not have been better to express our appreciation for the work that you've done, not just for Atlantis Paradise Island, but for the entire tourism industry.
No one can talk about success or the great things that we've all achieved in the tourism industry without being thankful, grateful, and appreciative of the hard workers who really keep the engine of the tourism industry going for us.
So many of you that really make a difference. And when you talk to people that come here and they visit other large resorts in the Bahamas, also throughout the U.S., it really is all of you, our team members, that make the difference.
Employee Relations Director Brandon Major says pulling the night together took a couple of months.
Nomination process about 4 weeks, collecting it through divisional designees and all team members, supporting team members and giving us forms, all of that.
With 6 employees walking away with top prizes of checks in excess of $10,000, the night couldn't be better.
An amazing feeling. But first, I have to give God thanks. He gets all the glory in this. And I'm going to make this award a we award, because it takes a team.
It makes me feel appreciated.
I love what I do. Every day I come to work, I work with some amazing people, so it's never worked for me, and I just love doing what I do.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Thanks, Lloyd. And that ends the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network, as only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team, thanks for watching and good night.